Hi, and welcome to this Mindfulness Yin mini session. So, you'll need a blanket. So, a blanket's really useful. It can prop you up to keep you warm. We can roll it up to support various bits of the body. If you've got one, you may want a block or a couple of blocks or various um, various blocks available, or just some cushions. Absolutely fine. Really, these props are just to support the body, to bring the ground closer to our limbs. So, in our yin practice, the postures will be held for a number of minutes, so we can really let the muscles relax, really get into the postures. It's really great for joints and just this sense of relaxation. But at the same time, we'll be practicing mindfulness, this awareness of the present moment intentionally. So let's make a start. Let's arrive. So first, let's find a comfortable seat. This might be a cross-legged position. You may prefer to be in a kneeling position. If you're in a cross-legged position, you may choose to sit on top of a block. So just perching on the edge of the block, just allowing the spine to be a little bit longer so we're not fighting so much to sit up tall. So however it looks, let's find a comfortable seat. So there is a little wriggle here, circling the shoulders, and then let the shoulders kind of land, not too far forward, not too far back, but not forcing anything. Allow the spine to be long, imagining we've got a hook on the top of our head, pulling us tall. The chin's gently tucked in, but the back of the neck is long. With the hands, you may want to rest the hands on the thighs, or maybe make a mudra, bringing the thumb to the first finger, stretching the rest of the fingers away. Palms can face up or down. Use your curiosity to see what feels better today. And then gently, we can choose to close the eyes, or maybe be softly gazing with the eyes. And just starting to bring our attention to our breath, not trying to change anything, just noticing as the air moves into the body and the air moves out of the body. And just activating this sense of curiosity, as if we've never watched our breath moving in and out before. Each new breath is the first time. Feel it. You may feel it in the chest, in the belly, in the nostrils, in the mouth, in the throat, or somewhere entirely different. They're just witnessing. And then allowing this breath to deepen. So as we breathe in, allowing the breath to move into the belly, perhaps the belly relaxes here. Might be helpful to bring the right hands to the belly so we can feel the belly expand as we breathe in. And feel the belly relax as we breathe out. Not forcing anything, but just gently deepening the breath here. And if we find the mind begins to wander, because that's what minds do, gently but firmly bringing the mind back to the breath. And if it feels uncomfortable to come back to the breath, there may be another neutral anchor, such as the feeling of sitting on the mat or the block. Those real present moment sensations that we can draw on. And just allowing ourselves to breathe deeply, feeling the whole of the in-breath and the whole of the out-breath. And so the intention of the practice today is to be aware of the sensations in the body, be they neutral sensations, be they pleasant sensations, or be they unpleasant sensations. And we'll be noticing the changing sensations through the body. And I invite you to approach this with a sense of curiosity and with a sense of patience. We don't need to feel all the sensations in one go. We don't need to feel anything. It's just a chance to see what we notice in the present moment. So let's take in an extra large breath as we do. Spread the arms out to the side, nice and wide. So big breath in. You can open the eyes if it's comfortable. And let's breathe out with a sigh as we bring the arms back in, hugging ourselves here. Breathing in, stretching the arms wide. Sighing it out as we hug ourselves. One last time. Big breath in. Let's really open the eyes this time. Welcome the day. And breathe out. Let's hug ourselves in. Squeezing tighter this time. Just coming back to the natural breath. Maybe even using the fingertips to massage through the shoulders, through the arms. Squeezing in tightly, dropping the chin towards the chest. And then releasing down. If you need to release the legs, do so. Move in any way that your body asks you to during this practice. Okay, so let's take our first posture. So this posture will be bringing the soles of the feet together, bringing the knees out to the side. So in a more kind of yang-based posture, practice of this posture, we'd be bringing the heels as close as we can into the groin. So today I'm inviting you to make more of a diamond shape here. And then bringing the hands to the bones at the front of the hips. Let's just rock forward and rock back. So there's little pelvic tilts here. So tilting forwards as far as we can, allowing the spine to be straight. And then at this point, we can choose to lean forwards, to kind of slump forwards a little bit. And at this moment, let's check in with the body. Let's see, where can we add some accessories? Where do we want the ground to come to us? So you may choose to take a block or a cushion to go underneath the knees. You may support the head. So you can use cushions or blocks, or maybe resting the chin on the hands. Just really being kind to your body, noticing what might it need in this moment. And so the principles of yin are we allow the muscles to be soft. So we're not trying to force any stretching, we're not tensing. We're just allowing the muscles to be soft. This includes the muscles of the face, the thinking muscles. And then next we come to an appropriate edge. So this means that you can feel something. Something's happening, you're feeling, but you're not clinging on. So it might be in this posture, it's very intense, pulling on the inner thighs here. And so if you add a little support, it may ease that tension just a little so you feel you can relax into it. You can still feel something, you can feel an edge for sure, but your legs are safe, they feel relaxed. And then the third part of our yin, mindfulness yin practice is that we become still. But within this stillness, knowing that it's always okay to come out of the posture. If there's a pain due to the posture, it's always okay to take ourselves a little deeper, or maybe remove a prop if you think, actually, my legs are really opening and I want to kind of let gravity do some more work. And so really allowing that stillness. being aware of the sensations in the body, the expected, the unexpected, the pleasant, the unpleasant, the neutral. And just noticing if we feel those sensations changing. Maybe the boundaries of the sensation shift. Maybe the sensation of the sensation shifts. And let's take 3 more breaths in this posture. Take them long, deep breaths. Really feel the full inhale. Really feel the full exhale. And at the end of those breaths, gently use the hands to help us stack up our spine, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Use the hands to bring the knees in. Maybe give ourselves a little hug. Maybe move our knees from side to side. So in these transitions, it's really important just listen to your own body, whatever it tells you. Maybe to move in a different way to what I'm suggesting here. Maybe circling the shoulders, doing a little twist. It's really listening in. And if it doesn't tell you anything, just moving in the way I'm inviting you. And so let's move into our next posture. And so this one is our wide-legged posture here. So again, in a more yang kind of practice, we would be flexing the feet, bringing our feet towards ourselves. But here we're letting the legs be as floppy as possible. Again, you may want to be staying on the brick with a folded up blanket just to lift those hips a little higher. And we can choose to have a little bend in the knees. We can choose to have the legs straight, or maybe bend the knees quite a lot. And we'll be doing similar as we did in the previous posture. Bring the hands to the hips and let's tilt backwards and forwards. Tilting as far forwards as we can. And we can choose to keep a straight back, or maybe we would like to let the body kind of slump down. And again, we can choose how we want to support the body. So sometimes it's nice for rolling up a blanket and having it under the knees. You'd have even on both sides. If you're on a cold floor, like I am here, maybe unfurling that blanket and putting the nice blanket underneath the legs here to show that kindness to ourselves. And we're breathing. We're finding our edge. We're allowing the muscles to be soft. And we're letting go. So I invite you with curiosity to become aware again of the sensations in the body. Maybe the pressure of the feet on the ground. Might be the clothing on the skin. The stretch sensations in the body. There may be an achiness. Just notice. Notice what's there without judgment, without analysis. And still the breath rolls in like waves on a beach. And when the mind starts to wander, because that's what minds do, gently bringing it back to this moment, coming back to the neutral anchor, whether that's the breath, the sensation of sitting, the body on the ground, or any other anchor that brings you back to the present moment. And with this sense of curiosity, just noticing, are those sensation patterns in the body changing at all? Have they stayed the same, without judgment, with pure curiosity? And let's take one long, deep breath more in this posture. Feel the full in-breath. Feel the full out-breath. And gently using the hands to help bring the spine upright, bending up the knees. And again, maybe windscreen wipering the knees. Maybe we want to give ourselves a hug, making ourselves small like a seed. And then let's gently make our way to the next posture. So this is the Sphinx pose. So coming to life on our front. So there's a number of variations here. So let's first try coming to the forearms, allowing the lowest ribs to be in contact with the mat. And just seeing how this feels. The head can be slumped, it can be upright, whatever feels more appropriate. The buttocks are relaxed. So if you practice kind of a more yang yoga, we're taught to kind of squeeze the buttocks, press the legs into the mat, and we're kind of making a strong foundation with the legs. In the yin practice, we allow the legs to soften. We allow all the muscles to soften. Start from a little bit of action in the arms. If this feels too much, you may want to lower down, cross the arms, resting the forehead onto the arm here, or even resting the forehead onto a block with the arms by the sides, or probably more comfortably in front. Equally, if from this position you think, oh, I really like to push that a little bit more, then we can straighten the arms into our seal posture. So just a little bit more of an arch there, if there is more flexibility in the back, but really making sure that we're not clenching through the buttocks. And if we are, I suggest perhaps coming back to the Sphinx posture. Okay, so finding our Sphinx. Noticing where the sensations are. Might be pressure on the belly, on the mat. Maybe a sensation in the back. We might notice that as we take this posture that we find thoughts arriving. And maybe thoughts about the sensations in the body. For example, in the back, if it feels a little intense, there may be worry there. And that's entirely natural. And this is really nice mindfulness practice because it allows us to choose to come back to the present moment, away from those ruminations. Notice the sensations calmly. Perhaps they change. Perhaps they lessen in intensity. Perhaps they deepen in intensity. And all the while we can practice letting go. Perhaps breathing in to any areas of tension. And as we breathe in, perhaps quietly saying in the mind, let go. And perhaps thoughts may arise that feel uncomfortable or repeat again and again. And at this point, I invite us to return back to that neutral anchor, the body on the mat, or the breath rolling in and out. And knowing if sensations in the body or the mind become too strong, then it's okay to move out of the posture. It's okay to move. Let go. Noticing the body. Giving permission to soften. Giving permission to yield to gravity. And let's do just one long, last deep breath in this posture. Before gently lowering the head down, resting the head on the hands. Before gently tucking the toes under, hands under the shoulders as we press up to a 4-point kneeling position. Maybe doing a couple of cat-cows where we lift the tailbone up, drop the belly down, lifting the head up. And then coming back the other way so the tailbone curls down, the back arches up, and last of all, the head drops. And just repeating that a few times. Or if there's any other movements which you're drawn to in this moment, just taking those movements. And then coming down now to a lying down position. And let's draw the knees into the chest. Maybe making circles here. Again, noticing the changes in sensation as we move. And then allowing the knees to be together and the ankles to be together. And the shoulders both on the mat here. So both the shoulders are grounding. Allow the knees to roll over to the right hand side. When you reach the point where your left shoulder starts to creep up, perhaps grabbing your cushion or your blocks and placing the blocks underneath your legs. Allow both the shoulders to ground down. Maybe even bring the arms out to a T. You can choose to look over to your left, or perhaps keep the head neutral. And then just again checking in with curiosity that this posture feels okay for you. Do we want to take away the block? Does that feel okay? Do you feel like you can relax here? Or maybe add an extra block, add some extra support, because when the body is supported, it can let go a little bit more. That threat is removed. And as we rest in stillness, once again becoming aware of the patterns of sensations in the body. We may too be aware of sensations in the mind. Maybe thoughts keep coming. It might be useful to label these thoughts. Planning. And then we can label the thoughts and let it go on its way, like clouds crossing across a bright blue sky. And this allows some separation from thoughts. Or we can watch those thoughts travelling away rather than being entangled in those thoughts. And still allowing our body to let go. Let's do one deep breath on this side. And then when we feel ready, gently bringing the head back to centre. Allowing the knees to come back to centre. Maybe hook those knees in. Maybe rock from side to side. And then we'll go over to the other side, but activating this sense of curiosity as if we've never done this posture before. So allow ourselves to be central. The knees are together, the ankles together. And let's just roll those legs over. When we feel that right shoulder starting to creep up, perhaps grabbing a block or a cushion and popping it under the legs. And then allowing that shoulder to ground down. Maybe the arms come out to a T. You may find that once we've put the block in, you may want to remove that block, maybe add more blocks. Just really listen to the body, see where feels right. And again, we may want to look over to the right side, or maybe up towards the south, up towards the sky. Allowing ourselves to let go of muscle tensions we no longer need, let go of thoughts that don't serve us. And as we sit with these changing patterns of thoughts and emotions and body sensations, knowing that within us is that still point, that glimmer of peace within, that calmness. Let go. And every time the mind wanders to some far off place in the past or the future, just gently but firmly bringing it back to the present, back to our neutral anchor. And let's take one last breath on this side, breathing in fully, breathing out fully, and gently. When we feel ready, bring the head back to centre, bring the knees back to centre, hugging in those knees, maybe even drawing the forehead towards the knees as well. And then let's make our way into Shavasana. So just a short consolidation of our practice. So lying on our backs, bringing the feet wide, toes low out to the side, head facing up, palms are pointing up to the ceiling, coming out maybe 45 degrees, give or take, 45 degrees to the side. And we can close our eyes or keep them open but softly gazing. And then becoming aware of the breath. Not trying to change anything, just watching that breath roll in and roll out. And then expanding awareness to the whole of the body, being aware of the parts of the body in contact with the mat, the areas that don't touch the mat. Be aware of the sensation of the clothing on the skin, the temperature of the air around us. Be aware of the sounds we can hear, the sounds we're drawn to, the sounds we push away. Noticing the gaps between the sounds. And then gathering awareness again, coming back to the breath. And let's deepen the breath now. So as we breathe in, feeling almost like we're filling the whole of the body with fresh new breath. And as we breathe out, let it go with a sigh. Breathing in, filling up the body, filling up every cell with this fresh new energy. Breathing out to let go of any tension with a sigh. One last time, big breath in. And let go. Coming back to our natural breath. Wiggling fingers, wiggle toes. And then gently bending up the knees, rolling over to the right-hand side, supporting the head where necessary. And just taking a moment here in this fetal position. Giving ourselves thanks for taking part in the practice today. And maybe allowing a small smile to come to the corners of our mouth. And this may be internally, or it may be physical, it may be externally. And then gently, when we feel ready, coming back up to a seated position, allowing the eyes to slowly open if they've been closed, perhaps focusing on something in the room, something else in the room, as if we're seeing it for the first time, seeing it in you with fresh eyes. And then gently bringing our hands together in front of the heart. I'd like to thank you all for joining me in practice today. Namaste. The light in me shines to the light in you.